men that stand before the presence of God, they kind of have, if you look at it, it seems as if when they speak, things obey them. Look at what Elijah said. He said, there shall come no rain nor dew on this land except I say so. Let me tell you the implication of that statement. So even if 200 prophets gather to cancel this thing Elijah decreed, as long as they did not stand where Elijah stood, are you with me? They could not do anything. Am I communicating? They would not be able to pray. Hope you know that there are some people that are under some levels of curses. Those curses came because some men of God declared some certain things against their lives. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? And it's not like those men of God are small boys in the Lord. They are men that have some level of authority with God, but somehow, they've not been able to come to the school of the Spirit. You see, the school of the Spirit is not just a school of power, it is a school of character. Am I communicating now? Can I say this again? The school of the Spirit is not just a school of power, it is a school of what? Character. Somebody say character. So some men of God have power, but they don't have what? Character. The truth is that me as a person, prefer to have 99.9999% character, all right, than even power without it. So I need the power of God, yes, but I will need character more. Are you getting my point? So, but there are some people who, of course, because they lack character, can just open their mouths to say things as a curse against people. What they do not realize is that, hope you know that as you are not, as an anointed man, you shouldn't be talking anyhow. Just say, see your big head. You have declared to you joked, huh? Are you getting my point? You were functioning under an anointing and you joked. Think of if Jesus said, see your big head. Think of it. Just kindly think with me of just Marty. Before you know it, the head will start in hey. Are you getting my point now? It's true. So some people, they hope you know. Let me explain how this thing operates most times. When those people you might have offended them, maybe you didn't do something you're supposed to have done, or they were expecting you to do, and they decree a word against you. Now something happens if they are genuinely in the right. Are you getting my point? That does not give them the right to curse you. Are you getting my point now? That really does not give them the right to curse you, because it was James that was saying that a spring should not bring out bitter water and sweet water at the same time. Is that not so? So if they are representatives of God, they ought to only release blessing per time. However, if they release a curse, something happens. Legalities begin to capitalize on that curse. Am I communicating now? So because they had a right and they had offense, okay? Now spirits can take advantage, okay, of that particular negative declaration that was passed. Spirits can now take advantage of it and then begin to manipulate, and then you say, hey, that pastor cursed me, and so it is working. I want to pray that any curse anybody is laboring under, because we are standing with Jesus. You not get it now? Because we are standing with Jesus, the curse is removed. Amen. So Elijah said, before whom I stand, God, before whom I stand. He said, until I say so, no rain will fall. Then in Luke chapter 1, another being appears to Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist. And he says, hey, I know your wife Elizabeth is old. Maybe she has passed menopause. In fact, there's a level to which a fellow will be as a woman. It is no longer a case of menopause. They will say it's a menostop or something like that. So I think that was where Elizabeth was. And that was exactly the reason why this guy was doubting the angel. God didn't send a prophet to him. God sent an angel. You saw light. You saw how the being appeared. Yet you are doubting him. Are you getting it? Angel Gabriel said, okay, do you know who I am? He said, I am Gabriel. My God. Are you getting it now? Angel Gabriel said, I am Gabriel, one that stands in the presence of God. I am Gabriel, one that what? That stands in the presence of God. Next thing, he says, because of what you've done, you will become dumb. That's a man that stands in the presence of God. Men that stand in the presence of God, you don't try rubbish around them. Are you getting my point now? Men that stand in the presence of God, you don't do what? You don't try rubbish. In fact, they are very fast to judge disobedience. They are fast to judge it. I'm praying that the Lord will implicate you in a way that you will just be trapped in His presence. Amen. So that the next time we are going to hear from you, you begin to speak from authority. You know, sometimes when we want to prophesy, we say, am I sure? Am I not sure? A man like Idahosa will look at Nigeria and tell, I think they wanted to move, he was going to have a program in a stadium, and they wanted to move his program to some other place. Because Nigeria was going to play a match in that stadium. And he said, what? You moved my what? My equipment? For your program? He said, because of that, Nigeria will lose this match. And I will use rain to spoil your match. He's so he's so sure of what he has. Are you getting my point? You know the reason why he's so sure of that is because he's that kind of man that entered that thing I'm describing. A man that stands with God. Says to a native doctor, look, if you say you're a native doctor, tell me. Native doctor said, me, native doctor, no, I'm not a native doctor. Okay, you're not a native doctor, your God saved you. I would have killed you. After killing you, I will go and tell God why I decided to kill you. That's a man that, are you getting my point? He's not bluffing with his mouth.